Welcome. Each year, my wife and I put on a Christmas party which involves lots of puzzles and games. However, of course, we can't do that this year because of the COVID-19 problem. So I thought I'd put together a little magic show here to keep people amused during the holidays. Now, I learned these tricks when I was at school as a teenager. I took a book out of the library about magic tricks. Now, some of them involve sleight of hand, which I'm not very good at, but the bulk of them involved just simple arithmetic or mathematics. And once you figure out how these tricks work, you can work out variations of your own, which is a lot of fun. So if you're looking for a last-minute stocking stuffer for your sons and daughters or grandsons and granddaughters, a book on magic tricks is an ideal thing to do. It'll enable them to amaze their friends at school for years to come. So let's get on with the show. There are many tricks that involve simple dice, and here is an example of one of them. For my first trick, I'm going to use dice. This is just a simple numbers trick. So I'm going to take these dice and I'm going to roll them. Okay, oh, that was lucky. But you'll notice that every dice has 6 sides to it with the numbers 1 through 6 on them. Now, if you pile those up like this, there are, let me move them over here so you can see it better. There's 2 faces I can't see there. There are 2 faces I can't see there. There are 2 faces I can't see there and 1 at the bottom. So there are 7 faces I can't see. Now what I'm going to do in this trick is I'm going to randomly roll the dice, pile them up like this, and then tell you what the sum of those 7 faces are. So we're going to put them into the shaker here. And I've made this little tower, so I can't even see the numbers on the side of the dice, and I'm going to just pour the dice into there, and they should stack automatically, which they did. Thank goodness for that. Now the only dice number I can see is the one on the top. So what is the sum of the other 7 faces I have there? I believe it's going to be 27. So let's see if I'm right. So the first face is a 6. Ooh. The second face is a 1. So that's 7. The other face is going to be a 6. So that's 13. Then there's 3, that's 16. We go to the other side, that's 20. Another 4 is 24. And a 3 is 27. So isn't that remarkable? Now this is only done with numbers. It's not done with any sleight of hand or anything of that sort. So try and figure out how that was done. It is remarkable how many people are afraid of numbers. There are certain special numbers, such as prime numbers. 7 is a prime number, which means it can't be divided by anything but itself or 1. And it's also considered a lucky number for some unknown reason. But a lot of tricks involve the manipulation of numbers, and here are a few that hopefully will amuse you. Now, if you want a hint about how that last trick was done, then you should realize that it was associated with the number 7. Now, what I have here is what they call a magic square. It's a 4x4 square with the numbers 1 through 16 written on it from left to right and from top to bottom. Now, you should probably have a pen and paper or a calculator with you to do this. So pause the video and be armed with one or both of those. Okay, very good. So for the first trick, I want you to take any one of those 16 numbers, write it down on the paper, and add 5 to it. Done that? Okay, good. Now multiply by 3. Subtract 1. Subtract the number you first thought of. Okay, you with me so far? Good. Now divide by 2. And again, subtract the number you first thought of. And it should be the number 7. Next one you'll probably need the calculator for. I want you to choose any 3-digit number. So it'll be a number between 100 and 999. But the only proviso I make on this is that all 3 digits must be different. So 100 won't work because it's got 2 zeros in it, but 123 and 123 will work. So write that down on your paper or put it into your calculator. Now enter the same 3 numbers but in reverse order. So if you had 123, you would be entering 321. Now take the smaller of those 2 numbers from the larger of those 2 numbers and write down that result. Now I have no idea what number you've come up with there. You should either have a 2-digit number or a 3-digit number. So whatever you've got, add all those digits together. So if your number was 123, for example, for your difference, then you would add 1 plus 2 plus 3 would be 6. Okay? I think you should have at this point a 2-digit number. And I suggest that you take the smaller digit away from the larger digit, and I bet you the number will be 7. Now this next trick blows my mind because I can't really figure out how it works. But nonetheless, it's fairly straightforward and you can do this at home. We'll actually use our magic square this time. I want you to choose any one of the 16 numbers from the magic square. Write it down and remember where it is in the matrix. Now choose a second number, but the only proviso I have is that it's not in the same row or column as the first number you chose. So if you chose 1, for example, you could not choose 2, 3, 4, or 5, 9, 13. It has to be one of these other 9 numbers. Okay, so you've now got 2 numbers, written them both down, I hope. Now choose another number, a third number, that is in neither the row or column of the first 2 numbers. You should have a choice of 4 numbers. Write that number down. And now choose a 4th number, but there's only one choice left, which is not in the rows or columns of the first 3 numbers you've got. And write that one down. So you should have 4 numbers now. Now I suggest you add them all together. You probably should have a 2-digit number. Add the 2 digits together, and I bet the number you will get is 7. There are literally thousands of card tricks. Some of them involve sleight of hand. Others, you might just have to believe in magic. But the vast majority of them just rely on simple, plain old mathematics. Here are a few that do exactly that. For the next trick, I'm going to do away with the magic square, and we're going to take the 4 sevens and work with those. And we're going to put these cards in what they call chased order, which is clubs, hearts, spades, and diamonds. That's chased. Now we're going to normally I would let you choose your favorite suit. I'm just going to use the dice to do that. So whatever the dice throws, we'll count off that number. 3, 1, 2, 3. So spades is our favorite suit. We'll need those again later. So we'll pick up the cards, still in chased order, and we'll turn the same color as the spades, but leave the spades as is. So we've turned over the club. So we have the only unique card here is the 7 of clubs at the moment, right? So we're going to be able to mix these cards up in one of 3 ways. We're able to take the top card and put it on the bottom. We can do that as many times as we like. We can turn over the top 2 cards like that, or we can turn over the whole pack. So we're going to let the dice decide, and if we throw a 1 to a 3, that's what we're going to turn. The number of cards we're going to put from the top to the bottom. If we throw a 4, we're going to turn over the top 2 cards. If we throw a 5, we're going to turn over the whole pack. If we throw a 6, we ignore it. Okay. So we have we take the top card and put it on the bottom. 5 is turn over the whole pack. Take the top card, put it on the bottom. And we're going to take the top 2 cards and put them on the bottom. And we'll do this 3 times. Shift them up a bit. Turn over the whole pack. take 3 cards from the top and put them on the bottom. Turn over the whole pack and put the top card on the bottom. Okay. Last time. 2 6s we ignore. We took 3 cards and put them on the bottom. And then we turn over the whole pack. Right. So they're messed up from what they were before. So I'm going to do some actions here. First of all, I'm going to take the top card and turn it over. Then I'm going to take the top 2 cards and turn them over. Then I'm going to take the top 3 cards and turn them over. Then I'm going to turn over the whole pack. And wouldn't it be remarkable if the suit that you chose is the only one showing? There you are, the 7 of spades. So the next trick involves 7s again, and I've put the 7s in this diagonal line across the page here. And I've got the cards here, the rest of the pack, and I'm just going to deal another 12 cards to make up a 4x4 array. And I'm going to deal them at random. I don't care where they go. They've been nicely shuffled, so it doesn't really matter where the cards all go. Just so far as they're random. Okay, so let's just tidy that up a little bit. Okay. So we have 4x4 with the 7s as diagonal. So I'm going to turn over the 7s. And when I turn over 7, I'm going to turn over another card. So I'm going to turn over that one. Turn over that 7. I'm going to turn over this one. Turn over that 7. I'll turn over that one. I'll turn over that 7. I'll turn over this one. Now, what we should have is random cards all over the place, except for the 4 7s which are in this diagonal. Now what we're going to do is we're going to fold the cards so we end up with a single pile of cards. And we're going to let the dice do it. If a dice comes up a 1, then we're going to go bottom to top. If we're going to get a 2, it's top to bottom. 3 is left to right, and 4 is right to left. 5s and 6s we ignore. So 5s we ignore. So 3, what did I say that? That was left to right. So we're going to put left to right like this. Okay. 1 is bottom to top. 4 is right to left. 6s and 5s we ignore, of course. 3 was left to right. So we're going to have some top to bottoms and bottoms to tops. We need some 1s and 2s, in other words. 1s and 1s. So we have bottom to bottom, bottom to top, and bottom to top. Now, wouldn't it be remarkable if all the cards were facing the same direction? But they aren't. Only the 7s are facing the other direction. Can you figure out how that was done? Good luck. Now, 7 is not the only magic number in the pack. 9 is a very important number. So let's count off 9 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Just check. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay. 9 is a magic number because it is a square. It's the square of 3. So that says that the 3rd card here is matched with the 9th card here. So let's take a look at the 3rd card. It's the 6 of diamonds. So we'll put the 6 of diamonds back where it came from before. And now we're going to spell out where, because the cards will know where the 6 of diamonds is, just by spelling them out. So we do S-I-X of D-I-A-M-O-N-D-S. And there you have it. Oh no, it's the King of Diamonds. Oh, I know, I forgot something. You've got to say the word magic. M-A-G-I-C. 6 of diamonds. There we go. Now, I may have just set up those cards. So let's deal off another 9. 1, 6, 7, 8, 9. So remember, the 3rd card is always the magic card. So what do we have there? The 5 of clubs. Now I'm not going to do the same thing as I did before, but I'm going to let the pack decide. In fact, we'll let the dice decide. So we have the number 16 here. So I'm going to count down 16 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 9 of spades, right? So we're going to spell out the 9 of spades. N-I-N-E of S-P-A-D-E-S, spades. And remember this time magic. M-A-G-I-C, 5 of clubs. So the cards seem to know where the third card is, no matter which card you choose from the pack, whether you use the card itself or any other card in the pack, and it will just always come back to that number. Again, be interesting to figure it out why. Another thing many people don't know about cards is they always try to maintain balance. It's just like a law of the universe. So what we're going to do here is we're going to turn over a card. It's a red card. So every time a red card comes over, I'm going to put a card above it. Every time a black card turns over, I'm going to put a card above it. So red above it, black above it, red above it, black above it, black, red, black, red, black, red, black, red, red, black, black, red, 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 black, red, black, red, black. So these cards were random because we shuffled the cards beforehand. Now the cards up here, therefore, that are one away from those cards, are therefore even more randomized. And so we can just shuffle these together and forget about them for the time being, because we won't be using them again. But the remarkable fact, this is the red pile here. I'm going to count the number of red cards in the red pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red cards in the red pile. I predict there'll be 6 black cards in the black pile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can you figure out how that works? What fun. This time I've got the top 20 cards, so the 5 top cards of each suit, and you can see they're all here, and they should be in relatively random order, so we'll shuffle them a bit more. Shuffle them to our heart's content. Okay, we'll cut them. Do it again if you like. Alright, so I'm going to offer 2 cards and let the dice decide what we're going to do. We either keep them the way they are or turn them face over, okay? So we're going to take the first 2 cards off the top here. And do we want to turn them over or put them face down? 2 would be face down. Odds stay there as they are. Evens go face up. So we have 2 cards here. So what are we going to do with those? Again, we turn them over. 2 more cards here. 4. That's face turn over. What about these 2 cards? So we turn those, we leave those as they are. What about these 2 cards? Turn them face down. What about these 2 cards? Oops. 3, that is leave them as they are. What about these 2? 4, that's turn them over. What about these 2? That is that's turn them over. What about these 2? Leave them as they are. What about these two? Leave them as they are. So now we have randomized the direction of the cards just based on the whim of the dice. So we're now going to deal this out into 4 rows of 5. Now be careful to be sure, or make sure that you think that these are relatively well randomized, that there's no particular suit or pattern that you can see in the cards that are turned over or not. Right? So again, we're going to let the dice decide. We're going to fold them again like we did before, but and with the same convention. 1 top to bottom, bottom to top, 2 top to bottom, 3 left to right, 4 right to left. 5 and 6 is we ignore. So we have 3 4s and a 3. So 4 is right to left. 4 is right to left. And 4 is right to left. Never seen it do this before, but anyway, it'll all count. Oops, there we go. And 3 is left to right. So let's get these a little bit neater. So we've got to get some low cards, 1s and 2s. We need to finish this out. So 1, that's bottom to top. 1, bottom to top. 2, top to bottom. Put those away. Now, wouldn't it be remarkable if all of the cards were facing the same direction? But they aren't. We have a royal flush in hearts. Again, can you figure out how that was done? Now, I must admit, when I was at school, that geometry was not one of my favorite subjects until I learned what neat magic tricks could involve just simple geometry. I'm going to show you a couple of examples here that involve just a simple, flat, straight piece of paper. For the last trick, I'm going to ask you the question, how can you make 2 circles into a perfect square? I want you to think about it for a bit and then I will show you how. Well, I've taken those 2 circles away and I've glued them together at right angles to one another, like this. Now I'm going to get a pair of scissors and I'm going to cut down the middle of one of the circles. All the way around. Okay, so there's one cut. Now I'm going to take the other circle, which is this line here, and cut down the middle of that. And what do you end up with? A perfect square. So I'm going to leave you with some food for thought. This is going to be a trick involving 2 strips of paper, which I've twisted into something called a Mobius strip. A Mobius strip is a strip of paper with one twist in it. And it has the peculiar property that you can go all around it, and effectively it has only one side. So it's a 3-dimensional object, but it only has one surface. So I'm going to ask you the question, what happens when we take 2 Mobius strips, and one with a left-hand twist and one with a right-hand twist, and we glue them together and then cut down the middle? So let me just prepare that for you. So I've linked our 2 Mobius strips. Remember, one has a left-hand twist, one has a right-hand twist. I want you to imagine what shape will appear when I cut it down the middle. So here we go. We'll start somewhere here, say. We'll just cut down the middle of this first Mobius strip. Then we'll cut down the middle of this other Mobius strip. And what do we end up with? 2 interlocking hearts. I told you would love this trick. Well, that's the end, folks. I hope you have a very happy holiday season and you have a prosperous new year, and stay well. That's the important thing for the moment.